It's one of the heroes the Ember doesn't like playing against. You use the Sleight of Fist. If there's multiple units, there's always going to be a Bramble waiting for you. It's one of the things that people don't really think about when they play with an Ember against the Dark Willow to walk into the maze just to make sure that the Ember is fine. But until you get the BKB, that is just the reality of it. You can get caught way too many times. So I like the Dark Willow. I'm a big fan of the hero. I think it might be underused, but yeah, maybe not, because Hoodwink is a bit of a better version currently of the hero. Kind of does the same thing. It's very hard to catch. Once you catch it, it dies. It does massive amounts of damage with the ulti. Just with the Hoodwink, all of it is just a tad bit faster.
And this Morphling does kind of sit into my category of those late game heroes as well. So Army Geniuses do decide to go for this hero. Kind of uncontested, kind of, at the moment. XERXIA doesn't have a straight answer to this.
Especially against the Dark Willow. You turn it into a Dark Willow and you just start smashing everyone. That is one perk of the hero that you could go for. It's not like you really need an Aghanims, because you don't gain that much from taking the stats from an int hero, but the just turning into the Shadow Realm and starting to dish out the damage with the added range, it is something that you can't really deal with. I don't know what kind of defensive capabilities you need to have to survive through that one.
Where do you build the Aghanims though on the Morphling? How high do you prioritize it?
I mean, I prioritize it really high against agility cores. In this game in particular, you don't. I mean, when you look at these three heroes, if you were playing against only these three, you don't build it at all. You don't care.
But don't you need the Aghanims to actually dish out damage with the Shadow Realm?
Wow.
Or can you just turn the Willow and just that you need the Aghanims for it, right?
Why? You turn into the Willow, you go into the Shadow Realm, you turn back into the Morphling, and you start hitting. It's not that big of an issue. Right?
Oh, okay. So I don't actually know the interaction on that then.
Disruptor.
I thought it just breaks on the first, or then it just starts throwing those big bolts around.
Oh yeah. You're right, Panda. Yeah, I'm crazy. I'm actually crazy.
All right.
You're
So
right.
I was correct. I was like thinking, now wait a minute, that would be an ultimate hero counter in that case. But it is very handy.
Yeah.
You do need the Aghanims for the buff, but yeah. At least you can hide yourself for a little bit longer. So things like Walrus Punch you can't use on you. Well, that's really the only thing that kind of comes to mind right now. All the single target spells, basically, that they have, the Lich abilities don't connect. And one thing that the Morphling hates, now we get a prime example, it is the Zoo. So Lycan, this is one of these greater heroes against the Morphling.
It's a beautiful draft from XERXIA. You just need a hero that's somewhat gonna be dealing with the late game Morphling. We're already seeing the Drow being taken away. Maybe they take away the Terrorblade as well. I don't think you ban out the PL, because you have an Ember on your side, so most likely not a great PL game. But you're gonna get rid of something that pushes the towers and actually has good late game potential. So. That's what you're gunning for. But yeah, XERXIA really outdid themselves with the draft this time.
Drow ban and the Tidehunter both removed. Still a couple more bans to go before the final picks. Reserve time is running out. Arc Warden, interesting. I wouldn't have seen that ban coming out.
Yeah, does seem weird, but then when you think about it, XERXIA has 4 heroes that are just going to be fighting and pushing towers, and you have a Lich that is going to be preventing you from ending the game early. So imagine, even if you get a good early mid game as well, and then you have to deal with the magnetic field plus the frost shield, you're not going to be able to take down any towers, and it puts you in a position where the split push from the enemies will just destroy you.
10 seconds to pick.
Final pick for Army Genius is looking for a tank.
Night Stalker.
Have a very aggressive tank in the form of the Night Stalker. Lich and Willow hate playing against this. And the Lycan counter, yes, as well. This is where you start to think, do I go for the Overlord helmet? Do I just go for dummy and start building it to Wraith Pact or something else?
Yeah, you go for the dummy and you go into the Wraith Pact. Ursa is a hero that allows you to take Roche. They were thinking we don't really need the tower taking potential when we have a Lycan. I think this is going to be a Battle Fury Ursa. You want to have that potential because late game, the Ursa actually crushes the Morphling. There are multiple times in the game when the Morphling is going to be stronger, but in the ultra late game, Ursa is actually really, really dangerous. The problem for Ursa lies, though, that you're not going to have better vision than your opponents, and that is where Army Geniuses can actually play around him and kite him properly. So I have to say, Army Geniuses for me have won this draft after the Night Stalker pick. If XERXIA had only banned out the Night Stalker, I think this would have been their game, but right now I'm favoring the Radiant side.
I kind of feel the Radiant as well, even though XERXIA, they have a solid draft. They have a very fun, interesting draft to watch, but through experience and what I expect from Army Geniuses, I would like to see them go for a 2-0. But if you want to root for an underdog in this case, considering XERXIA is at the bottom of the groups, a point for them here would matter a lot, because even if you don't win a single series, but you tie the most of them, those are still valuable points towards the playoffs and maybe squeezes you into the lower bracket.
We'll see. But XERXIA, yeah, as you mentioned, they really need the victory here. I like the Ursa last pick. It's definitely great. If you get to a point where it's ultra late game, when there's like Aghanim Scepter on the Lycan, the Ursa is super farmed and stuff like that, you are gonna be able to pretty much kill everyone with the Ursa alone. But the thing is that the added vision from the Night Stalker and the ability to deal with the Lycan summons is something that XERXIA just didn't put into account, and that is going to be haunting them for the majority of the game. So Rupido, from like a hero that should be winning the lane, pushing all the towers, killing the supports and stuff like that, has become somewhat of a liability.
Yeah. You gotta make it count here. In-game UI shows this is game 1, but this is game 2, where Army Genius has already lead the series 1-0. For all of you people wandering out there, do spread the word. As we've already cast 7 games of Dota today here with Harry, and it's definitely been a long day. I think there's another 4-day series coming up later on this week. I believe we are not casting that one, but there is one coming up for sure.
Oh yeah, there is one.
It is on the December 3rd, if I remember correct. So the second last day of the group stage is going to be filled with Dota. And yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed the run. We have. And hopefully this last game doesn't fail either. Willow already taking some early poke here, losing his life. Not just poke, that's just a Willow torn to shreds.
And it's a perfect hero to get it. Yowie on the Ember, he doesn't even want to go for the bottle, understanding he's playing against the Tusk. So first 2 levels, you're not really gonna be targeted that much by the damage from the Tusk. And he he actually sold the Bloodstone. Yowie, he disappointed there. He bought the Blightstone. He wanted to fight the Tusk a bit more, and then he was like, nah, bottle is way more important.
Yeah, considering he can get that bottle now with the First Blood, it will be... he could have maybe gone for the Blightstone if he didn't get First Blood, which he probably was going to. So, he's going to shift things up a little bit. In terms of the matchup, he didn't get to block his creep wave because he was chasing for the kill. So it is right under his tower currently, battling it out with Ken.
Still doing a decent job at last hitting. Ken isn't even trying to break through the Flame Guard, even though he has the spells. He wants to directly apply damage to the Ember. Understandable. And you also want to have the Ice Shards to secure the range creep now, especially under the tower.
It's a nice little last hit there with the Snowball, connecting on both the hero and the creep. Bottom lane, expecting a battle of the supports here. And maybe even potentially a kill once Morphling has 2 more levels. But at the start, should be a calm beginning. However, I can't say the same about this top lane, though. Tiny has to be super careful about his positioning. He's carrying an invisible tree currently. Look at this Tiny. Look at this fella. He's coming for a hug. He wants to hug you. He's headbutting the the ward down. Was maybe expecting a level 3, but it's already a level 2 when they kill the Lycan in bottom.
You want to go earlier than level 3, because usually on level 3 the Lycan will finish off the Helm of the Iron Will, and then it changes things. So you you're much more likely to get the kill before that gets delivered. So very nice attempt from Army Genius. It actually does end up working out here.
Yeah, Lycan hasn't picked up a lot of CS. Willow has had to step in between and take a couple for herself. Night Stalker not having a lot of fun here. 6 Fury Swipe stacks already. Asta getting to play his Ursa.
Creeps did do a lot of damage to the Ursa, so that allowed the Night Stalker to live there. I'm surprised he didn't just straight up go for the boots. That's something that we see on the Night Stalker, but he went for a Windlace and a couple of mangoes just to be able to secure more last hits. Hasn't worked out so far though.
Yeah, not quite yet. Love how Ken and Yowie are basically just hugging each other here in this mid lane. The classic melee versus melee.
Gift from the tempest of battle.
There's always going to be a lot of brawling in those.
In Your Dream, who did have a very good Bloodseeker game in game number 1. Let's see what he can pull off with this Morphling. Dragon Lance seems to be the option for him for now. Let's get rooted up there. Just a bit of annoying Willow action.
They might make an attempt on Rupido's life right now. He's level 3, no second point in Feral Impulse, and the Helm of Iron Will still hasn't been finished, so they can go for him if they want to, especially with the Disruptor being level 3. You have a way to cancel the TP as well if you want to go for that route.
Yep. Xiao Bonbon will get the root on the Disruptor. Disruptor getting trapped from both sides by the wolves, but finds an exit route. If the Lycan got close, Lycan has a lot of right-click damage, so Rapido would love to use that to his advantage.
I'm toying with you. You understand that, right?
Not as much as the Morphling does in this almost full Agi mode.
Arms for the dead.
BB is hurting. BB is really hurting in both CS and overall, but actually it has a lot more CS than Rupido himself. You rarely see people struggle against the Morphling in lane, but very nice aggressive approach coming out from Army Genius to slow down Rupido.
Yep, Yaya almost going down here. Jokum close to the kill. Frost Blast comes out, and that will be the divider. So the Tiny doesn't kill off the Lich.
Lich, it seems like Lich was never gonna die there. He did have a Fairy Fire as well, so Jaja was just trying to get as much mana and resources that he can of the Tiny before he just goes back to base. He was close to it anyways.
Yeah, he definitely was. And now Lich loading up inside the fountain. Gonna be teleporting back to top. Ursa, level 4. But so is the Night Stalker, only 7 CS behind.
Ursa is not in a good position any longer. Now with the nighttime being there, Karma actually has to be careful how he approaches these.
And he has to watch out for Jokum too. They can just spam Void. Double Mango still in DB's pocket.
Karma has nothing to heal himself up. That's a problem.
Regeneration is kind of lacking here. The other offlaner at least has the Helm now. Rupido can live in this lane a lot more, or a lot longer. Probably not going to get harassed too much. Action Rune spawning in a couple seconds. Ken and Yowie both battling it out. Can he steal it from the Tusk? Tusk will be able to take the DD for himself. He pops it right away. Trying to get the most out of it as well, but he will die with it. Interesting that he decided to pop it right away.
Yeah, he thought maybe it was gonna change something. Maybe he's gonna be able to bottle up. This is the difference when Jaja TP to the top lane. Army Geniuses knew that they were gonna have the advantage at the power runes, so they brought 2 of their supports. Very nice play from them and very nice read of the situation.
Yep. Not sure if Willow actually got any information about the double stack there. Sorry, not the Willow. The Disruptor got information about the double stack there inside the XERXIA jungle. Might have to be something they want to keep an eye open for. Jokum's courier gets killed by Yaya. And I think the catapult also squeezed a hit in between.
Most likely. It is coming to a point where Varish is gonna have to stay away from the Lycan. So either he's gonna be playing with his teammates somewhere else, or leeching the mid lane experience. Considering that the Ember is on top, it's a good time for the Disruptor to rotate mid.
It's just Ken in mid. Joey looking for the Ursa kill here. Asta gets one, but loses his life. Jaya. There's a remnant for Joey, but he is dodging around. Double roots coming out, and he gets the Lich kill, and he could just get the Willow too. The Dark Realm being used. He's still got plenty of mana, has the chains, can use it if he wants to, and he shall. Goes for the triple kill on the Ember Spirit, but now in the bot lane, nothing happening here. Tusk is coming back to top, so Ken wants to find a connection, but DB running out as fast as possible. And Tiny coming in for the TP bottle. Does he get the refill? Yes, he does.
XERXIA are not managing their TPs well. They're not playing around them at all. It's like they're not giving info to each other when they can connect on what can happen. It can go both ways. Either the Ursa isn't recognizing that he can die with the Ember rotation, or Ken isn't communicating that he doesn't have a TP and that he cannot come to assist. It took way too long for him to rotate there. If he was there from the start, there's a good chance you even save the Ursa, and then the support saves just follow, and of course you get a couple of kills for yourself.
Switching over into net worth, this game is a bit more tied between every other core in the game except for the Ember Spirit. With that triple kill, Yoey is now 5-0. And jumps into the top lane with that Remnant still active, and he finds the Lich. He's going to look for more, and XERXIA, they're going to get the turnaround, but they are stunned in the Avalanche by Jokum. Dark Ascension being used as well by DB. Will take down the Lich. Ember Spirit in trouble. Has chains available. Ken, 6 seconds for his abilities to come off cooldown. 6 stick charges for Yoey as well. And here comes Varus from the other side. And onto the Tusk they go. DB's there, but the damage snowball connection needed here. And another Walrus Punch, but the damage is lacking. Ken won't be able to get the deed done.
Ursa no ulti, he has to be careful, but there's not enough resources here on Army Geniuses. That was a good usage of the regen rune from Yoey. If he hadn't used it that way, he probably would have died. So he went for the regen, went for the Sleight of Fist. It gave him a second or a second and a half for the regen to kick in, and it was just enough mana and the HP to get him through that.
They're trying to get DB, but he is already too far away. That Void is very useful against the Ursa. Every time he gets close, he's just going to get slowed.
You can't do much against it.
Willow TPing into mid. Trying to help out this Tusk who's already battling against Yoey and Jokum. Glimpse comes out. The snowball, though, able to dodge it. Continue the fight, but that also might mean that their lives are in peril. Ken, very low on HP, finally gets cleared off. And the Ember gets to keep his life. Tiny, not going to be as lucky necessarily. 80 HP, he gets body blocked by Varys, and that just sealed the deal.
If he hadn't gotten body blocked, he would have been able to use the sticks. It was half a second before they came back, and while that hit was flying, if it was just a couple of yards away, he would be able to use the stick. But I have to praise both teams there. Some really nice spell usage, and Army Geniuses especially how they poked the Tusk, and never really committing because they know the commit will lead to their own deaths.
Yeah. Also, Yoey, he had his teleport cancelled by the Willow. So he can't go back to the fountain to load up, but he was just waiting for the Tiny to respawn, so he can get a bottle refill. And at least some of his mana coming back, and a clarity also given by Varys. They're rotating towards bottom. Lycan in the trees. Rapido, level 8 on this Lycan. 1300 HP, 6 armor. Smokes are popping, and they are finally found, but the Centaur on the other side. Shapeshift, he does get to use it. He's blocking the Disruptor. He might actually even kill the Disruptor here. He's such a weak target. Yes, he will. Very important kill for them.
Big mistake from the Disruptor to use the Kinetic Field. That's your main spell to lock down the Lycan, or even save yourself for that matter. And he just uses it for vision. After that, it was just a free fight for the Lycan.
Yeah, they also went the wrong direction when they saw that smoke come out. They were actually when they were popping. Ursa trying to make a run for it. He is pig-pulled, and Rage is being used. DB trying to go for the wraparound. Void is available, and this should be a dead Asta. Lich is going to slow him down, but the waveform and the adaptive strike, actually the waveform and the right click in this case, is going to be more than enough. DD turning his attention towards the Lich. Lich is taking a pummeling here, and he is down as well. 11 kills for Army Genius is now at 12 minutes.
Cool attempted play from the Lich to keep his boy alive, but didn't manage to do so. Luckily for XERXIA, at least while all this was happening, they do manage to take down the bottom tower. It took them a long time. Morphling was allowed to stay on the bottom lane for a long period, but in the end it does go down, and Rupido is going for an Orchid, so killing some of these heroes that don't have a way to remove it is going to be big. You might even have it at a point where Morphling doesn't have a Manta, so killing him once before it comes out would be massive.
Applying more pressure to the top lane, this time Zhao Bonbon being targeted. Ember's going to be there in just a matter of seconds. Avalanche comes out, and during the chains, or more like the Slate chains, Jokum gets one more tick of Avalanche for the last hit. Meanwhile, mid lane is being pushed in, but just can't quite get to the tower. Meanwhile, In Your Dream finishes off the tower in the top lane. They're coming to defend mid. At least keep them away. Flames comes out. Ball instantly used. Yowie could use his well, it doesn't need to do anything really. The Static Storm does do a nasty amount of damage to the Tusk. The chains finally connecting as well. Warlord's Punch being used, but the DD is too much to deal with, and he's burning to the Flame Guard. Tusk, as the Arctic fisherman as he is, he can't stand the heat.
XERXIA also brought 5 heroes to the mid lane, only got the Tiny in return, and look at the side lanes are gonna get pushed in. So now they have to get this tower. There's no doubt about it. If the tower doesn't fall and there's still a glyph ready for the side of Army Geniuses, they're going to be losing so much map control.
Want this Ember kill. Can they get it? Looks like they will. Here into stun. Going to be just more than enough. Very good combination there. And finally, the 5-man rotation gets a kill that they want and an objective that they need.
Awesome for XERXIA. It looked for a second that if that tower doesn't fall, you're gonna be in trouble in terms of positioning around the map, but they force it out. They have a great spell usage coming out from Zhao Bonbon with the maxed out Bramble Maze. It's very hard for the Ember to play against the Dark Willow. It just always has been that way, and without the Ember, well, you just don't have the spam necessary to defend the tower.
Ursa Battle Fury soon ready. Still on par with his timing, maybe a little bit behind the optimal, and if you have a really good game you get even faster, but the timing he's gonna have it is still gonna be very good.
Yep, it's a solid Ursa timing on the Battle Fury. He does have the Power Treads, has the Orb of Venom as well, so it's not like he went naked boots into a Battle Fury.
Yeah. What about, well, I'll ask you another question as we finish up this engagement. Static Storm used onto the Tusk once again. Ken could use some backup, if only there was a thing called backup. He's out of the way. A question about the Ursa. So basically his itemization choices here. Because the Night Stalker silence is a bit of an issue, plus the Disruptor. Do you just go BKB instead of Aghanims this game on the Ursa?
You go Blink BKB? No, I think that's the... you won't even go for the Axe. The Axe is like a luxury item for the Ursa. When I talked about the Axe, I meant the Lycan Axe for the Ursa, but
yeah,
that's gonna come out later on. But Ursa now will get the Blink so that he can join his team.
Yapping Dog when he put overpower as he's been bitten into a wolf. Like a small chihuahua barking at your feet.
Does have to feel bad for the Ursa. Like, you're this big awesome bear and then suddenly you get turned into a dog.
Yeah, it does feel like a bit of a demotion.
What weathermancery is this?
But at least you get the crit because you look small and innocent. They don't think that you're gonna be as evil as you are. And with this 4-man smoke, XERXIA looking to find a resulting kill. Yahweh would be very good. Unfortunately, he just jumped away with a remnant. They're trying to establish some Roche control. They know that the Ursa might be going there if they end up dying. Trying to avoid that from happening.
Night Stalker is going for a Wraith Pact. So I thought he was gonna go for a Blink first. They got the Ember again.
Yep, he's feared and into the root and silenced up as well with the Orchid. He might just live. He's gonna drop low, but he will get to survive a little bit longer. Snowball coming in as well, jumping it away with the Remnant, jumping back as well into the fray, and he's burnt everything. He does have the slate available, but he's just not going to use it. He's going to wait
Morphling and Tiny from the
his
side.
friend to fall. The chains come out, and here comes the Morphling. Silenced up again. Another Orchid use coming out. Able to get any spells off on time, and now turning again into the actual Morphling here. Ken will take one with him. 2 for 2. And Jalbon snipes the courier.
Man, I got afraid there for a second for the Ember because he made a mistake with the Remnants. He tossed one to the side. He wanted to go towards that one, but he clicked closer to himself. And then he got back right next to the Tusk. But the Tusk wasn't expecting it, so in the end, he gets himself out. If he had gotten stunned once more there's a good chance the Ember just dies. And I don't want to say it turns out as a disaster for Army Geniuses, but the fight is not as equal as they would like. What I do like from Army Geniuses in this game is the positioning of the position of the map that they're playing. They know Lycan wants to be on the bottom lane, and if you start hunting him, the Roche can go very easily towards XERXIA. So that's why they're constantly forcing out fights on the top lane until they see an opening to take down this mid lane tower. Once that is down, they're probably going to be switching their sights a little bit more towards the bottom lane, because then it's not as easy for XERXIA to take Roche.
Let's see what they can get with this Morphling. Still feel like In Your Dream, kind of like the hidden potential in the game. With the Bloodseeker, it was kind of a chill game. Started popping off when the rest of his team really needed him to. Then the rest could handle it, like Jokum on the Marcy, for example. But now we can do it the other way around. You know, let his team carry him for now. And he'll show up as the big full trailer truck, aka Juggernaut, aka Morphling, that a late game hero can be.
He is going to be going for an Axe after the Manta. He needs the Manta. It's absolutely necessary against the Orchid. But then he is going to be gunning for the Dark Hole. I don't think Ursa is the best one to turn into.
Well, Ursa's TP has just been cancelled. He thought he's fine with the Enrage, but he's just going to die here. It doesn't even take them too long to finish him off, and that is disastrous for XERXIA. Silence comes out. Rupido keeps the Ember Spirit away. Jokum in between, looking for a target. It is the Lich he wants to take away. Jalbon already down, and now Ken all by himself in the river. Just freebies for Army Geniuses. That's 2 core kills, and it feels like it was such low effort as well to get these kills.
Yeah, for sure. Versus the Ursa died, you're not afraid of anything, and you have this Night Stalker who is chasing Jaja. Ah, beautiful.
Wow. No mercy. He has 16
no
HP. Yeah, no vision. 16 HP survival.
You just got outplayed by Shadow Amulet. Though you can only stay in it for 15 seconds. Obviously, that would have been enough for XERXIA to respond, but still.
It is a bit disappointing for them. They're like, oh, we got so close, but it's not going to be enough. Gonna let this one slide through our fingers. Slide between our fingers, even.
No Night Stalker ulti, you go for the Roche. You would actually want to force out a fight there if possible. Yeah, they're just gonna walk in. Oh, but the scan. Army Jesus knows.
Great timing. Darius is gonna get caught by the Willow. Willow looking for a solo kill here. Oh, they're going almost in the wrong direction out of the fight. Shards is the reason why he dies in the end. In Your Dream, disjoints the Lich ulti in the middle of the pit. It's gonna be the Tiny finally dying. Yaya, or Jaja, he's at 100 HP.
Has invincibility.
Ooh, it's gonna run out in 3, 2, 1. Damn.
He was dying to the Wraith Pact, actually. Would have died anyways before it expired.
Yeah, Morphling wants the kill for himself. If I can take it, I will have it. Ken, getting ready to initiate. They have the Ursa ready. They have the Lycan ready. No Shapeshift just came a cooldown, but it's too late. It is too late.
XERXIA, they felt like they had to go for that one, but they can't find an angle. They thought, okay, there's no Night Stalker ulti. This is the best timing we're ever gonna get, and it's just not good enough. Even though the fight started with the Disruptor immediately dying. Varus not really being in a great position and being immediately spotted by the enemies is just not enough, because Army Geniuses have so many ways to dance around the pit. You have to get a kill, maybe 2, and then walk into the pit. That is something that XERXIA should have been gunning for, but they only have a blink on the Ursa, so not a proper initiation tool on their side to start off a big fight.
Yeah, definitely a bit difficult for them. Still, Army Geniuses in a 2k lead, holding on to this game, setting the pace as well. XERXIA is basically just responding. Unfortunately for them, they can't even take the Roshan themselves, and is taken away by Army Geniuses, putting them on the back foot here. Xiaobonbon finding Jokum, but also Yoi. Shadow Realm is available, doesn't get to use it, and he just gets slapped down. That's a heavy hit. That's a Maelstrom proc on the first attack. Rapido in trouble. He's inside the silence of DB, but finally has a chance to stand his ground outside. Yoi keeping him at bay. There's the Disruptor throwing him around. He's hoping him to get into a better position, but this is a very disconnected fight from XERXIA. Don't feel like they can do anything about this.
I feel like every single fight for them is going to be disconnected because you have no Blink Dagger on the Tusk. The way I thought that their lineup was going to work is Tusk sees someone, jumps in, goes for the Walrus Punch, and then the Ursa finishes them off. That's how I thought they need to go up about the fight. And then the Lycan starts his chase. But if you start your chase into a Night Stalker ulti when no one is dead, I mean, Army Geniuses are just going to be able to position themselves better.
Yep, they almost just killed the Willow right away there. There will be an opening for Asta to find a kill, and Rage comes out as well. The fear onto the Morphling forces him out from the high ground. And the tier 3 has fallen. The melee racks is down to 900, but they're respawning on the side of XERXIA, so they're going to leave the racks for now.
Army Geniuses knows there was still a glyph available, so XERXIA were baiting them to stay there, and if you stay there, you're gonna get targeted, and you're not getting those racks. The 6-second glyph is not gonna allow you to take him down, so nice call from Army Geniuses not to make a mistake that XERXIA did in the previous one.
They have first-hand experience of how things can go badly. This is a very sneaky attack from the Ember Spirit. With the help of the Disruptor, right under a ward, Xiaobonbon silenced.
You know how they say, Panda, a smart man learns from the mistakes of others, and a dumb guy, he learns on his own mistakes. So that's the right approach from Army Geniuses.
That
they,
actually
look at someone else makes a mistake, and yeah, they just capitalize on it.
That reminds me of a quote which I kind of referred to into Dota, of screaming opponents or playing the same opponent many times. Do not battle the same opponents from again and again, or like over and over, for they will learn the art of your war. It's a beautiful quote.
Yeah, and yours is a lot better said there. It is heard. I heard there that you practiced it, that you actually formed it throughout the years.
That also means Tusk getting caught in the bottom lane. XERXIA very disconnected right now. It feels like they're all over the place. The unity is missing.
The Tusk got greedy, didn't want to BKB TP.
Yeah, nice stun there from Jokum, but Asta does get some free hits in. Gets clipped away. Lost into the airs. Rapido gets to fight DP. It's one of the wolves though. Regenerates quite a lot out of that. They already lost that Tusk earlier on, so it's a 5 versus 4 fight that they also got. They're doing gauntlet challenges now. And the clock is ticking. Got themselves a Dark Willow, caught inside the silence of the Night Stalker, so despite the Yules throwing him in the air, he's still silenced under. And here comes the glimpse as well. Rapido, he's got no means of escaping. In Your Dream is here to dish out the right-click damage and to secure the kill for himself. 806 Morphling still unanswered for.
yeah, silencing DB really didn't help much there. But this Disruptor Glimpse has really been making a difference. He's the one who caught Ken on the bottom lane, and it all started this snowball that's happening right now. So the first Aegis is not going to be used to take down any of the Raxes, but it created that big of a lead that now it's up to XERXIA to get out of the base if they want to continue this game. If not, they're just going to give the second Rosh and lose the game. So a very uncomfortable position for them. And big item timings, they're not really coming.
Dire's top barracks
Yeah.
are under attack.
No matter what item you're going to be building here, it doesn't feel like it's going to be optimal anymore. Because you need a second item on top of the one that you just got. Dark Willow hammered by DB. Here comes Jokum with a 3-man stun. They're all stuck on the spot. Here comes the BKB off of Ken. And a full-fledged assault. Yowie will take down a one. He'll take down a second. And they are trapping the Ember for the time being. But that's your Ursa BKB. Basically used while the Morphling is just hammering down buildings. And the top racks are gone.
That was a nice chain frost though. It bounced off between the Night Stalker and the Tiny quite a lot. Then the Tiny tossed the Night Stalker away, but the chain frost followed. And then Varish and DB took a lot of damage. The problem is that you need to kill this Night Stalker from 100 to 0. He's always gonna have a Hunter in the night to heal himself up.
At this current pace, we're gonna have a full day of 2-0s. Army Geniuses don't feel like they're letting go of their tempo anytime soon. Morphling unanswered for. Ember only died once. He's also pretty tricky to deal with at this stage of the game. And DB also died only once. So 3 heroes, 2 deaths. Very impressive.
The only thing is now for XERXIA, they got the Basher on the Ursa, so they might not have a blink on the Tusk, but Ursa can initiate and kill people on his own. The question is just, is the difference way too high at this point so that he can't do much?
That's what it definitely feels like. Jaja gonna get taken down. Ken gonna get stuck inside the root. 13 seconds for his BKB. He still doesn't have it. I think the Ember Spirit just wants to keep on chasing for the time being. He could just catch him again. Yes, he will. Joker coming in with a toss, and good night, Tusk. I don't think they can take much longer.
Yeah, they definitely cannot. The Ursa needs to be the one initiating, so now you are coming to the high ground. The thing is, the Morphling is the only one that's showing, so that's why XERXIA are going around. They need to find the backline.
Some kind of surprise element is needed here. The Fear connects on the Tiny, doesn't connect onto the Morphling. Little Tusk coming in with a buyback DB, hunting down Job on Bon. And Asta will spot the Morphling, but Morphling already in strength gain. And actually is dropping quite low, and only now In Your Dream decides to start swapping over, as he just decided to stay where he is. And the overpower into right clicks. That is an insane amount of damage dealt in a quick span of time. And there's Rapido and the GG call. They've had it. XERXIA will remain at the bottom of the groups, but Army Geniuses, that's a 2-0 for them. They're happy to take that with their one victory they've had prior versus Execration. Now they've doubled up the scorelines.
The Morphling was actually in agility morph there. So Ursa almost killed him. The only reason that the morph survived is because he had a butterfly. So that's a newly bought butterfly. He wasn't expecting the Ursa to be there. The Dark Willow and the Ursa both smoked. The Ursa was waiting on the high ground. The Dark Willow went to make a play. And Morphling made the slight mistake there to waveform. And the Cursed Crown hit him right when he landed on top of Ursa. So almost through the fight there, though. Even if you die at that situation, I'm not sure anything changes. But it gives an opening to XERXIA.
Yeah, he gave a bit of an opening for them at least, but not much for XERXIA to do this game. Felt like they were just all over the place. Army Genius is much more controlled Dota, better disciplined, and a well-executed draft. And you know, I mean, just execution-wise, just felt like the much better team here in Game 2. Game 1 was much more even, and I think XERXIA is kind of getting creeping into their heads as well that they're definitely in a tough place. They're struggling a little bit, but not to leave it on a negative remark. I still think XERXIA can pull off a couple points at least in this group stages, but they are going to run out of series sooner or later. You got to start making them points as soon as you can, because otherwise teams like Execration, Lilgun, Unity, they're going to get away from you if they start winning games. Otherwise, your lower bracket dreams are going to be out. Our 4 series are done, Harry. It's definitely been a very long day. I want to thank all the people who've been tuning in since 9 a.m. Well, 9 a.m. local time, or whatever it's been For you people watching out there, thank you for tuning in for our 8 maps of Dota. Tomorrow, we're going to be back with Unity Gaming versus Lilgun, Fnatic versus Atomic Neon, and Spawn versus Geek Fam. So, without further ado, do hit that follow button. You can follow us as well on social media, T_Panda Dota and Harry_Freak. We'll see you guys tomorrow for some more BTS action. So until then, take care of yourselves, everybody. Good night, and bye-bye.